Welcome, folks, to another episode of Editor's Desk, and today I want to talk about Keir Starmer.
A lot of work to do, but as leader of the Labour Party now, I feel very strongly it's my duty to make the argument about where we go next.
I know, that name is more divisive than it was purported to be. When Keir Starmer was coming into the job, we were told that this man would unify the Labour Party. The hard left, the central left, all the different variations of left. Keir Starmer was going to be the person who would unify them all. And of course, we're not quite seeing this translate. In fact, a recent YouGov poll showed the movement from June 2020 all the way till March. And Keir's popularity, unfortunately, has been going down. And, you know, even more recently with his stance on Liverpool, people are calling for him to resign. People are saying that Keir Starmer was not all he was cracked up to be. And folks who rested their hopes in him are, quite frankly, being disappointed. So the question is Keir Starmer right for Labour at this time? Well, folks, you'll know the doubts over Keir Starmer's leadership, they've been mounting for many, many months. Not least because of what he did to the previous Labour leader, Jeremy Corbyn, when he removed the whip. He then suspended lots of local members who passed a motion of support. We then saw him, for the most part, support Boris Johnson's COVID strategy. Folks saying, well, what's the point of an opposition that supports the Prime Minister? And most recently, because he agrees and supports the government takeover of Liverpool City Council, which, quite frankly, is a mess as it stands. Folks are saying, hey, this man is just supporting conservative policies. He's just a flannel, if you like, that's being walked over by the opposite side. What I want to consider in this video is, well, is this true? Is there any truth to these claims? What's actually happening here with Keir Starmer? Now, let me get this out of the way really quickly, because there's one thing people often say, and I think we just have to concede to that and move that out of the way. That is that Keir Starmer is not the most charming of people. He's not the most charismatic. He's not the most warm. In fact, folks are saying he lacks that kind of thing that, for all these woes, Blair had, right? Blair could speak to people, he could talk to people on LBC, and really just kind of be warm and get people laughing, and he was very kind of charming. Keir Starmer lacks that, unfortunately. So that charm factor, that ability, if you like, to galvanize people, to rally support, to really get young people passionate, he hasn't really got that. And so for that reason, a lot of people, quite frankly, just can't get behind someone like that. The massive, cleavage of people that Jeremy Corbyn tapped into, the young, disenfranchised. Keir Starmer has been found less than wanting, to be quite frank, when it comes to galvanizing that base. But let's move on to the more substantive point here, which is about Liverpool. It is a nuanced story, but I think it's important for you to understand what's been going on. Now, the Liverpool mayoral elections, or selection rather, was triggered when the city mayor, Joe Anderson, was arrested. Now, he was arrested as part of an ongoing investigation into building and development contracts in Liverpool. And there's a whole investigation going on there. There's allegations of witness tampering or suppressing. There's allegations of bribery. There's a lot of different things that's going on. The investigation is still active, so there's not much we can say about it, other than it looks very, very bad, and there seems to be chronic and systemic or systematic failure within the Liverpool Council. Now, when this happened, a mayoral selection process was triggered. And an initial panel of all women, right, a shortlist of all women were drummed up. And these women were, one, the acting mayor, Wendy Simon, the former deputy mayor, Anne O'Brien, and the current Lord Mayor, Anne Rothery. But then, randomly, if you like, the process was suspended, and all the candidates were told that they couldn't run again, which was really interesting, because not only was it an all-women shortlist, we also had potentially what would be the first black woman Lord Mayor of a city that now apparently cannot even restand. And so folks have been going, well, what's going on here? Because Tuesday, a letter to Liverpool's 6,000 party members stated that after careful consideration, the selection process would be rerun and the 3 women originally shortlisted will be blocked from applying, right? So Labour, right, the email said, needs to select the right candidate who can deliver an election win and stand up to the Conservatives. But the 3 women who initially were going to run are being told they can't take part anymore. Now, this obviously confused a lot of local activists who are saying, well, hold on a minute, why would the panel just randomly decide to remove these 3 women? Nobody is suggesting that they're being removed because they're connected to the ongoing investigation with Joe Anderson. So that may not be the case. So the question is, well, why is happening? Why is this happening? Is it that these women are the wrong type of left, right? And ergo, what some people are calling the crackdown on the hard left. Some people are saying the reason why these women are being removed is because it's part of a sustained onslaught, if you like, on the hard left of the party, which is what Keir Starmer is trying to get rid of. You may be saying, well, where's this coming from, right? Well, Rothery, who's been told she can't stand again, secured the backing of Jeremy Corbyn and many figures on the left or on the hard left. She'd been running an increasingly impressive campaign. And so this crackdown definitely seems political. Doesn't seem as some nuanced technical decision here. It seems that like it's a sustained crackdown by the current Labour leadership on the excesses, the hard left of Labour. This is going to do more to disenfranchise and to, quite frankly, anger local campaigners, local council members, people who have been feeling like they've lost a voice in Keir Starmer. Others are saying this shows a rank hypocrisy with Labour, because when all women's shortlist suits them, they're on board, but when it doesn't, suddenly they're not interested anymore. Of course, some have even gone as far as to say that, hold on a minute, what's happening with the fact that we were about to have potentially the first black woman mayor, and suddenly that can't happen anymore, and there's no explanation forthcoming? Is this another, if you like, example of a party that doesn't value its black and ethnic minority members? After a year of Keir Starmer's leadership, it seems as though large cleavages of Labour membership are quite frankly disenfranchised. It also seems though as though even if you kind of extrapolate that and get a bit further out, more and more people are quite frankly disenfranchised. They don't see an opposition leader forthcoming, and they don't see a prime minister in waiting. Now, I don't know if Labour's going to go through, I once joked that it's kind of similar to when Man United lost Sir Alex Ferguson. What happened after was lots and lots of different people having a go, but unfortunately, the United just couldn't form into the new party it needed to be. Sorry, the new team it needed to be. I should really stray away from football analogies, but there you go. I just crashed that one. The point being, is Labour going to go into this period where different managers come in and we're seeing cosmetic changes, or are we really going to have leaders come in and really tackle what is Labour right now in the 21st century? Can Labour continue with its current offering if it purports and wants to win this large panoply of voters in the next election? Will that happen? Is Keir Starmer the leader for now? I don't know is the answer. But one thing is very, very clear. His popularity is slowly falling and he needs to do something about it. Hey, thank you for taking time to watch that video. Here at the Commentators Network, we thrive on exposing you to different ideas. If you're someone who likes ideas, you like learning new things, hit the subscribe button now and turn on notifications so you're first to hear when we have a new video out.